You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate, right? So you have the exact business team culture that you've either created or tolerated, period. Right? So it's just like, just own it. It feels so good. You're like, okay, great. Now it becomes actionable. What do I need to do to create the team, the business that I want, right? So, this it can't be overstated that the team is the most important component of this.
Hello and welcome to the Remarkable CEO Podcast, a show dedicated to chiropractors who want to transform their job into a business so that they can have a remarkable practice as part of a remarkable life, not instead of one. With your hosts, Dr. Pete Camiolo and Dr. Stephen Franson.
Welcome to another episode of the Remarkable CEO Podcast, chiropractic's #1 business podcast. I'm Dr. Pete Camiolo.
And I'm Dr. Stephen Franson.
And it's great to be together with you today. Hey, if you don't know who we are, I think it's important that you know who you're listening to here today. Both Dr. Stephen and I, we came from clinics doing over 1,000 a week. We did that for the majority of our careers. And I'll tell you, Dr. Stephen, it was a great privilege and honor to do that. But we know that it wasn't the end of the story. Both of us built 7-figure practices, exited those practices successfully, have built many other businesses as a result as well of that moving forward. Right now, we did our numbers, Dr. Stephen, for this past year. We did over $200 million in revenue through the doctor that we get to serve. We serve right now over 500 chiropractors around the world. And Dr. Stephen, one of the things that excites me is we're doing 125,000 adjustments per week, 500,000 adjustments a month through the doctors that we get to serve. And now we get to serve all of you through this podcast. So what we come to you today with, what we bring when you listen to these podcasts is that's the weight that we're carrying. When I say weight, it's not a heaviness, it's a weightiness. Like, we understand the gravity of what is going on in your world. We are not coming in, like Dr. Steve, you always say, we're not pontificating. We're in this with you. We are in it ourselves and our own businesses, and we're walking along it with you. Many of you who are listening, we get to run with you. Maybe some of you who aren't, you're just a listener and you're not coaching with us. That's fine. You get to, drop in every Tuesday as we drop these episodes and have these conversations. So Dr. Stephen, today we're gonna have a conversation about identity. And ultimately, when we released the CEO program for the first time, this is back probably 7-8 years ago. The first thing we released, the first course, was our identity course. It was the first course we released, was the identity course. We recognized that the first thing that has to happen is there needs to be a transformation of identity. And I always use the example of a metamorphosis of a caterpillar, we all know the story, but the caterpillar hasn't fulfilled its destiny yet if it remains a caterpillar. It was actually designed by God to ascend into another level of being, and that is a butterfly. And so, but it has to go through this process of living as a caterpillar first, walking out its destiny as a caterpillar, then going through this metamorphosis process, essentially dying. The old one had to die, had to prune some stuff away. Stuff had to go. Can't take it with you. That had to die so that it could become the fullest expression of who it was created to be, which is a butterfly. And for us as CEOs, it's a metamorphosis that we go through. And so there's parts of of us that has to die. There's mindsets, there's behaviors that have to shift and change. So Dr. Stephen, today we're going to have an identity conversation, speaking directly to the CEO about one of the things that we're very passionate about, which is your team. We're going to have a conversation today about team and identity and how we have to have an ascension here going into 2026 and beyond if we're truly going to experience what it means to be a remarkable CEO and have a remarkable business.
Yeah, Dr. Pete, this conversation is coming fresh off of a week of masterminds. Like you said, we have the privilege of working with 500 chiropractors all around the world. But there's one thing that every chiropractor seems to have in common, which is the challenge around creating a world-class team of A players, right? So, and you know what, I heard this over and over and over through masterminds during the week. And finally I was like, bro, listen, somebody was like, can't believe I have to hire again. Oh my gosh, I'm losing this associate doctor. I have to replace my front desk CA, or I've got to find an office manager. And here I go again. I've got to start the interview process and the vetting and the hiring and the onboarding. And they were whinging about it. And I was like, bro, listen to me. this is your job description, right? So this is literally the job description of a CEO. I build world-class teams, right? So that's like what I do. It's one of my 5 bullets on my scorecard. And, what I said to him was, can you imagine when you were the owner operator or any owner operator chiropractor, looking around the adjustatorium and being like, oh, are you kidding me? Another patient to adjust, another subluxation to remove. So literally it's the same thing. It's like, as a CEO, your job is to create a world-class team, right? So we've gone from this role of being the owner operator where our sole purpose was, let's take care of the patients. Right. So, and everyone else on the team was paid to just support you as you took care of the patients. When you make the ascension to CEO, you go from being the machine to being the person that builds the machine. In other words, your job is to take care of your team, and your team will take care of the patients. Now, it doesn't mean you never get to adjust. You don't have clinical responsibilities. I never stopped adjusting as the CEO, but I recognize that my job, my role was to build world-class teams. So Dr. Pete, I'm psyched to get into the guts of this conversation, right? So, but before we do that, we need to address the elephant in the room, right? So, for those who are just listening and they're not watching this on YouTube right now, I got to call you out, man. So we have this remarkable relationship, right? So, and remarkable does not imply perfect by any means. We always say that remarkable does not imply perfect. I just want to, bring to light here an obvious imperfection that I have, experienced with you, right? So, I really want you to reflect on this because it's, it's meaningful. For those of you who can't see the hat you're wearing right now with the Yankees logo on there, it's like, you were like near perfect, bro. Near perfect. Of course, I've got my Red Sox lid on. You guys may or not see that. Dr. Pete and I have a great baseball rivalry that's been going on since we met. He's a hardcore Yankees fan, and I'm a big Red Sox fan, being a boy from Boston. Bro, you were so close, near perfect, but I believe in you, man, and I believe you're going to grow out of that.
Well, if I can't grow out of it, if we could learn to, we don't have to be like Pedro and Alex. We don't have to be, there doesn't need no punches need to be thrown, necessarily. I think a good rivalry, Doc, creates some good, healthy tension in an organization. I think it only can be, you can redirect that great energy into productivity. I think we've done a good job of that, and we'll continue to do that here today.
Yeah, man.
It's spring, so it's springtime, spring training, baseball. My boys have all, re-engaged with their, travel ball. So we're in the thick of it, and it's been a lot of baseball. So I had to show up with my baseball hat on, and of course you did as well. So, that's a big part of our success. And you had asked me a question before. You said, what's the most important day of the season? And I think that's a perfect segue into the conversation we're going to have today, because at the end of the day, what are we all thinking about all off season is who's going to be on the squad, and then in spring training, it's who's going to make the roster, right? Like who's going to actually make it to the show.
That's right.
And so it's all about team. It's all about team building. That's what it's about. It's about team building. It starts from when drafts are happening all the way through, guys going through the minors coming up, they get a shot at spring training to get to show up. I'm not going this year. My brother David called me because he's never been, and he's in Tampa next week he's taking his son Andrew, and they're going for a couple of days. I was just he told me he was so happy. I was like, dude, I'm so happy for you, because I've had the opportunity to take my boys. I always dreamed of going to spring training, and it's just an awesome experience to do. And it's just really cool because you get to watch a lot of the guys that play who aren't probably going to play, but they get a chance and they get to prove it. And if they can prove themselves during spring training, they might have a chance to get up to the show. And if not during the regular season, maybe when the expansion of the roster in the fall, they might have an opportunity to come up, making a playoff run. So it's just awesome to see and be around that energy. I love taking my boys to that. And we've done that a few different years. So Dr. Steven, it's a team building conversation.
That's right.
Right. And, we've got to be mature about it. And, to be on the team, you got to be able to perform at a certain level. That's what I learned about Yankees, Red Sox. I don't care what it is. Like, you might love baseball. It's awesome, but you got to be able to play at the level of the major leagues. And that's what we're talking about. This is major league level conversation, because owner operators going to CEOs goes from minors to majors. It can't be amateurs anymore. It's time for professionals.
That's right. So we're going to take the position that the most important day of the season is draft day, right? So this is recognizing how critically important it is to get the right players on your team.
Yeah.
Because the hardest thing to overcome is not having the right people. Just know it. right? So you guys hear us all the time. It's operationalize, it's professionalize, it's optimize, right? Those are the three things, right? So the hardest thing to overcome is not having the right people on the team. So you guys, I want you guys to take this really, really seriously, because it's A players only, or smash your head against the wall for your entire career. Your choice. This is literally, that's it. There's a fork in the road, and you've got two choices in front of you. Commit to A players only, or you're committing to playing problem whack-a-mole and smashing your head against the wall for the rest of your career. Just know it's truth. You don't have to think about it anymore. We've done all the considering. We limp into this room riddled with scar tissue, and we're telling you right now, it's like we've made all the mistakes that you've probably made and 10x, and we're trying to keep you from continuing those mistakes, helping you see around the corner on the next iteration of your business, whether you're approximating a break point, your next break point right now. The breakthrough most likely for you in the future here is going to be making sure that you have the right people in the right seats, doing the right work the right way. Dr. Pete cannot overemphasize the importance of this. And therefore, what we have to recognize as CEOs, if we've truly made an ascension from owner-operator to CEO, we recognize that to be an owner-operator, to be a chiropractor, an adjusting chiropractor, there were two identities that you needed to be able to master, right? So one of them was, I need to be a doctor. And the doctor, the DC, the chiropractor, you went to school for 4 years to learn to be a chiropractor, to be able to pass boards and get out in the field, which is when you really started learning how to be a doctor, learning about education and adjusting, learning about case management, right? So being a DC, that is a identity, and it is a knowledge base, and it is a distinct skill set. Okay. Now, once you got into practice as an owner operator, you realize, oh, hold on now. hold on. Now I need to know how to run a practice, right? So running a practice, your operations, your day 1, 2, 3, 4, your week 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's attraction, conversion, retention, team building, collection. Those are your operations. Now you need to learn how to be an operator, right? And that is a separate and distinct skill set. It's a separate knowledge base. It's a different identity, right? And you can feel the difference between those two things. You're like, you can be a world-class clinician and be a hopeless operator. It's like, you just can't get out of your own way, right? And it really affects your throughput of your practice and the potential for you to make an impact, the capacity to serve patients, right? And we know throughput drives output, right? Throughput is your service, output is your economics, right? So that brings up the third identity, Dr. Pete, which is, wow, wait a minute, hold on. There's another identity here for me. If I'm going to own a practice, I need to learn how to be a business owner, right? So I want to go from being a doctor to running a practice to building a business, right? And that is a different identity, right? So, and it's a different set of skills and a totally different knowledge base, right? So, and you got to know, you're probably going to wear all three of those hats on any given day, never mind every week. And you just need to know what's the appropriate one. Dr. Pete, I want to talk about the importance of being a business owner and recognizing that as part of your job description here, right? Is that you've got to know how to build world-class teams, right? So as an owner operator, you have to know how to build world-class teams. Both of these require you to have this new skill set, this new knowledge base, this new identity, right? So, and understand that it's going to be up to you to go from being the machine to building the machine. And how much have you invested in becoming a DC? How many 4 years of school and then everything after that? How much have you invested in becoming a better operator? Okay. Now I'm going to ask you is like, are you ready to make the investment it's going to take to become a world-class team builder? It's an identity, it's a skill set, it's a knowledge base.
Our theme this year is breakthrough, the year of breakthrough. You've heard us talk about that in our episode of the year where we release the theme of the year. And this comes back to my mind almost every day and every week, Dr. Stephen, is this concept of breakthrough. And what does that actually mean? And there's a key word inside of breakthrough. It's break. And then there's a second part of the word, which is the, through. So you have, if you break it apart, there's a breaking that has to happen. There's a breaking of, just think about it from a vision perspective. Like, you've got to look at your business you always ask the first question, what does success look like to you? You have to have clear vision on what success looks like for your team. If your vision, it never saw what Dr. Stephen, you just described, never had that vision of, oh, I build world-class teams. You've got to have a vision for that. Okay. And you can't, we can't tell you what success looks like. We can tell you where success lives. And one of the places it lives in, there's three parts to it. One of them is in your vision story. You have to have clarity on what your vision is, because the clearer you are, the greater the acceleration will be. So clarity is key here for your team. You got to have clarity of your vision, and knowing that what Dr. Stephen is saying is, with all the scar tissue and limping coming into this meeting, it's problem whack-a-mole, bang your head against the wall or get this right, because there is no like gray area. It's black and white, and so when you get this right, it changes the game. And so as a CEO, ascending in the identity, shifting your identity, it starts with what's your vision of what success looks like. You have to have clarity, and you're accountable to that. You talked about these. This is one of the five bullet points and objectives on your scorecard, on your role and job description. Vision casting is the number one, but you have to have a vision to cast, and your vision has to be a vision that includes a sub underneath that, having building a world-class team, collecting these A players, right? So this idea, it starts with vision. Number two is leadership, which is answering the question, who do I need to become? And you can only answer that question through the filter and lens of, who does this team need to become? Because for you to become the CEO, you have to have people that are going to support you in your ascension. So you have to have the people that are going to help elevate you, so they have to elevate themselves. If you don't have those right people, then they're going to, in a sense, in many ways, be dragging you down versus lifting you up. And that's the difference here, is that if you're feeling the drag down, you're not feeling like this is actually helping us grow and move this business forward, then that energy is actually pulling you down. That's a sign. That's a symptom that person is probably not going to be the person to help you take you to the next level, to grow to the next level. And that can show up with all sorts of different signs and symptoms along the way. And for us as CEOs or chiropractors who love to take care of people, and probably a lot of us are relational leaders with some transactional in us, but the reality is we have to get transactional here too, and realize that for us to experience transformation, we got to combine the relational side with the transactional side to create that transformation. And so this is where sometimes we have to prune. We have to remove the interference, the thing that's the person that's going to prevent us from growing to the next level. Obviously, first person starts with you, me, the person in the mirror. Then we got to look at your team, and we got to say, you know what, is this person who going to be willing to become who they need to become to help us become who we are going to become, to grow this business to the next level? Is that person the right person, right? Because they might have been the right person, Dr. Stephen, to get you to where you are now, not necessarily where we need to go next. And that happens. Many CEOs that work with us, Dr. Stephen, there's usually a new wineskin that comes with the transformation, because there's got to be new wineskin to handle the new wine, which was our theme last year, right? So you guys are catching this. You want to turn that pirate ship into a battleship so you can fire some cannons? Yeah, you're going to need to make sure that you've built the team that's going to support the mission.
So, Dr. Pete, I'm a big fan of top grading, and top grading famously states that 95% of our problems are people problems, right? So that definitely translates to the thousands of chiropractors I've had the privilege of coaching and working with over the years. Everybody's like, amen. Well, one thing that can be a bit of a blind spot is that very often, as the owner or as the CEO, as the leader, as the clinic director, as the doctor, very often you are the people that is the problem. So always start, like great leadership always starts with a mirror, right? There's like looking in the mirror and being able to say, okay, so first and foremost, have I made this identity shift? Have I made this ascension? Have I become a leader worth following, right? So do I have the attributes of a person that would be a great leader, right? So just start there. Like it's, at the end of the day, you have exactly the business that you deserve. Mm-hmm. Right? You have exactly the team that you deserve. I say that. So if you have an awesome team in an awesome practice, great, you deserve it. If yours is a cat circus, you deserve it. Let's just own it, right? It's just like such a mature, like extreme ownership, right? So it's such a great approach where you'd be like, yeah, that's on me. It's like, which is awesome because that means I can influence it, right? So it's just such a great posture to take as a leader, be able to say, yeah, oh, my bad, right? So, you don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate, right? So you have the exact business team culture that you've either created or tolerated, period, right? So it's just like, just own it. It feels so good. I'm like, okay, great. Now it becomes actionable. What do I need to do to create the team, the business that I want, right? So, it can't be overstated that the team is the most important component of this, right? So, I have 6 businesses that collectively do $1 million a month in recurring revenue. How can I possibly do that? Not without a great team in every single one of those businesses. Let me tell you that right now. It's like there is, physically impossible, right? So it's like, what is the most important thing? The most important thing is, I have 6 businesses that collectively do $1 million a month in recurring revenue. How can I possibly do that? Not without a great team in every single one of those businesses. Let me tell you that right now. It's like there is physically impossible, right? So it's like, what is the most important thing? The most important thing Team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I get interviews like, what's your superpower? Building world-class teams. Like literally no hesitation. It's like out of all the business experience that I have and all of the failure that has taught me so much, right? So every single business is like going for a degree. It's like going back to it's a degree. It's not just like, oh, I'm back in a class. No, you're getting a degree, right? And so much of that education has taught me that it is all about team building. So I'm going to just wrap this up by just saying, it's like, CEOs, if you're serious, if you're not, then discard this. If you're like serious about becoming a remarkable CEO, then you need to not just accept, but embrace this opportunity. It's a responsibility, therefore an opportunity for you to create a world-class team. All right. So it's like, so it is always part of your process. This is what you do, right? So you've gone from being the machine to being the person that builds the machine. You've gone from being the machine, which is your responsibility is take care of the patients, to building the machine. In other words, you're the one that you build the team and the team takes care of the patients. Now you might have the role, like I said, where clinical, you're still seeing patients, but you just happen to be sitting in one of those seats. You're building that team and you change hats and you put your owner operator and your DC hat back on, right? So I should say you just put your DC hat on, take your CEO hat off for a minute, but you've just gone from being the machine to the person who builds the machine. And the person that builds the machine embraces that it's going to make all the difference. And that is the mantle you picked up when you said, I want to be CEO. You sit next to me on an airplane and somebody asks me what I do for a living. I'll tell you what, I build world-class teams, right? That's my response. And it's an awesome response because it always starts a conversation. Because whether you're a person who's just failed a business or just started a business, or you're struggling in business, or you are crushing it in business, and you know you're coming up on your next break point, you want to have a breakthrough and you want to take it to its potential. When somebody says to you, what do you do for a living? Oh, I build world-class teams. Let me tell you what, that is a conversation starter.
Please stick around for more business insights from this week's bonus interview with our remarkable success partner, dedicated to helping you more successfully help more people. Enjoy.
All right, what's up, everyone? It's Coach Dr. Sebastian from The Remarkable Practice. I am here with my favorite introvert. I love you, man. Justin Maxwell from Big Life Financial. He's one of our success partners, and he's gonna tell us why. Actually, we love him. We love the work that he does, and we recommend a lot of our clients, and we point them his way and to Big Life Financial. On a personal note, he's helped a couple of my colleagues and associate doctors find tax credits on their student loans and really help them out to pay them faster and achieve their financial freedom faster. So I know that what he does works. I've heard incredible stories and testimonials from multiple clients. So we have 5 minutes with Justin. I hope that you enjoy it. So Justin, just tell us, man, what problems do you solve for our clients? What are the top 3 problems that you've been able to solve for the people who reach out to you from TRP?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sebastian. So the first problem that we have found is that once doctors get in the TRP system, their practices become more efficient. They start running on systems, they start running teams, and that produces more revenue, which in turn produces more income. But as what happens for most doctors is they make more income, they spend more money. So they stay stuck where they were before, just making more money. So the first problem we help them solve is create systems, we call it financial operating systems, in their personal finances, so that as the income increases, their spending lags behind. So they start to create wealth outside of their practice while their practice is getting bigger, instead of always making more money, spending more money, making more money, spending more money. So that is problem number 1 that we solve for TRP doctors.
Love it. So I know that it's a huge mindset shift. So one of the things is by your strategies, the mindset that gets fixed by itself. So I know someone who have done what some of the things that you've guys done, and at the end of the year they had 50 grand saved that they were not expecting. So awesome. That's one problem. What's the second problem you guys solve for our clients?
Second problem. So as your income is rising, also is what happens is your tax bill starts rising. And if you started your practice with your friend accountant, your accountant you found in your BNI group, oftentimes those people are great for that season of your business. But as you scale upward, their tax strategies, their ability to actually help you reduce and keep the money you're making on your taxes becomes reduced. And so you have to find a new way to help reduce your taxes. Otherwise, you're just going to be sending money to the IRS unnecessarily. So the second problem we solve for TRT doctors is helping them keep more of the tax money that they would have had to pay had they done things like everyone else. So we help them implement tax strategies proactively. We help them initiate a philosophy around taxes that creates a system where they keep more of their tax dollars in their own pocket instead of just giving it to the United States government.
So are you guys accountants?
Yeah, so we do have, I'm not an accountant, but we own an accounting firm that's built into our practice. So we can help them file their taxes. We can give them tax strategy, tax advice. We can tell them this will reduce your taxes by this much, and we'll file and send it off to the IRS for you.
So you're an accountant and a tax strategist for your clients.
Correct, 100%.
Okay, so here, if you're listening to this, it's no coincidence. My accountants are, so in Puerto Rico, tax laws are different. So I need someone here working. But what I have is exactly what you're talking about. My accountant is also a tax strategist that his job is to make sure I keep as much as possible legally while playing this game in a very intelligent way. So that is huge, man. That's huge. Accounting with a strategy. Amazing. Third problem you guys solve.
Third problem we solve is the idea around maximum potential. So many people have these ambitions that they've had built up within them. I want X amount of wealth in the future. I want to leave this level of impact. I want to create generational wealth. But then their practice, it might be coming along slower. They're looking at their investment accounts. It's like, well, that doesn't look very big right now. But it's what we're trying to help people think is you have to think bigger than you currently are. And the last problem we help people solve is bridging the gap out of the middle class mindset into a generational mindset, which will enable you to go as big as you want to go. Because that actually is probably one of the most fundamental things you have to have if you're actually going to reach your aspirations. You can't stay trapped in scarcity. You can't stay trapped doing what every American does, because most Americans don't create generational wealth. So stop copying what everyone else does and start stepping into what you feel called to do and what you feel inspired around your mission to accomplish. And I think that the fundamental stuff that we put in place around tax strategy, around financial strategy, around investment strategy, all helps accumulate into I can actually reach my wealth aspirations and make the generational impact that I want to make.
Dude, this is huge. You're all the reason I was able to be completely debt-free at 38 years old, completely debt-free, owning 3 properties, beach house, boat, and really living a life that I enjoy was because of these 3 things that you're talking about, these 3 problems that I solved. So I know that if I want to get in touch with you, what will be my next step? If I'm like, yes, I have one of those problems, or I need help with all of those problems, what will be my next step?
Yeah. So if you are like, I want action right now, I need help with this, I want to take action, go to biglifefinancial.com/TRP. You'll be able to schedule a call with us. You'll be able to have a consultation. We'll identify what is the urgent need for you, and then we'll take action on that, solve that problem, and then we'll solve the rest over time. If you're still like, I'm not quite sure, but I really liked what he had to say, you can follow me on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Just look up Justin D. Maxwell, and you'll be able to follow content and get to know me a little more. And then hopefully over time, something I say will inspire you to make a change and make an impact on your financial life so that you reach your maximum potential.
Hey man, I would love to get on a call with you so that you can check what I've done, what I'm doing, and have your feedback. Can I do that also?
Yes, 100%. We can even, one thing we do offer is just we offer in that complimentary review. If you want us to review your past taxes, we'll review them complimentary, no fee, at our expense, so that you can know, like, is my person an accountant and a tax strategist? How much money am I leaving on the table? Or are they already doing what I need to be done? So you have that reassurance that I actually already have the team I need. I don't have to make a shift, or I don't need to do anything different. Because oftentimes there's this lingering doubt in the back of people's minds that they're not quite sure. We can help provide that reassurance for you.
Justin, awesome, brother. I'm super looking forward to seeing you on Phoenix. Are you going to be there, or are you
Yes.
sending your team?
I will be there, yes.
Oh, perfect. All right, man. I will see you there. And that's it. BigLifeFinancial.com to get a hold of Justin and his team and get a call. I'm definitely doing that. So love you, brother. See you in Phoenix. Talk to you soon.
See you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Remarkable CEO Podcast. If you like this podcast, please subscribe, share with a friend, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with us personally, direct message us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Remember, what the world needs now is chiropractic, and what chiropractic needs now is more successful chiropractors.